Hope you all are doing okay. So, because I'm going to be doing a lot of videos about my health, stuff I go through, I figured I would just do a first video with like everything in one, like my whole story, like how it started and start to finish till now, I guess. And hopefully I remember everything because it is a good amount, so bear with me. I'll try to go through it as smoothly as I can. So, yeah, I'm 40, so I started having some health issues. It's around like 14, 15 years old. It started with migraines, and I would get sick a lot. Then I started having some stomach issues, like when I would eat dairy, I would get sick, or stuff like that. Certain things I just couldn't tolerate, and it was like that for a few years. And then when I was 18, I got pregnant with my daughter, and it was bad. Like everything started getting way worse. One day I became nauseous and been nauseous ever since, 24/7. And the only way I can describe it is that feeling right before you're going to get sick. I feel like that all the time. And then it was a complicated pregnancy. I was on bed rest most of my pregnancy. And then after I had her, like everything got so bad. It's like, I guess whatever was going on with my body, the pregnancy just like umphed it, I was always so sick. I had to have help with taking care of her. That was hard. And then I started having like a lot of fatigue, like not the kind of fatigue where you can just go to bed. No, like really lethargic, and my body always felt like it weighed like 10,000 pounds. I still feel like that. And of course, I was going to this doctor, that doctor, PCP specialist, and the only thing they come up with was IBS initially, but it wasn't explaining a lot of my problems. And then I was sent to a GI specialist, got the emptying test for my stomach, found out my stomach didn't digest properly, so I was diagnosed with gastroparesis. So I was like that for a while, dealing with all those things. And then I started having like eye problems and a lot of neurological problems like 6 years ago. And I was like, what is going on? There's got to be something like an underlying cause causing all these problems. And it always just irritated me that I didn't know. And none of my doctors knew. They couldn't figure it out. And then after a while, I'm just like, I need more answers. I can't keep on going on like this. I wonder, when you're sick like that, it's like, I just want to be normal. And you look at all these other people that don't feel that way, and it's like, I wonder how that feels. Because at that point, it's like, I didn't remember how it felt to not feel so sick. So I went to my PCP again about my vision issues. Like it would go blurry once in a while, and then sometimes it looked like I was looking through water. It made me really, really feel like sick. So he was like, well, let's go ahead and do a brain MRI. I was like, yes, please do, because if you don't, I'm going to find another doctor who will, because there's something going on here. So he ordered that, and come to find out, I have a lot of brain damage. I have a lot of white lesions. I have one here, I have one there, I have one back here, a lot of gray spots, which is past trauma that was done, a lot of black holes, atrophy in the frontal lobe and back here. what else? Oh, nerve damage in my brain. So he was like, wow. He called me himself. He was like, I feel like a shitty doctor. You know, you're definitely right. Something neurological going on, and it is more than likely, you know, some of your stuff is caused by your brain damage. But the thing is, it's like, why? You know, what's causing the brain damage? And they couldn't give me an answer. They have no idea. And he also sent me to an eye specialist. So I go in there, and she runs all these tests and imaging, IOP check, yada, yada, yada. And she goes, you have glaucoma. And then I think I was like 35. And I'm like, what? Are you kidding me, right? And she's like, no. I'm like, okay. So I had to get emergency laser iridotomy done. The first week was my left eye. The second week was my right eye. So I have like little holes in my irises. But that's helped. My IOP levels have been, for the most part, within okay levels. So I haven't had to repeat that at all, which is nice because that wasn't fun. And then year after that, I was having a lot of weird sensations, like up my left arm, my right, you know, the left side of my face, and I just felt weird. A few times I had like my brain is saying the words, but my mouth, it was like gibberish, and I'm like, what is going on? And come to find out, there were strokes, mini strokes, and I'm still having them. I have a few a month, and I'm seeing a neurologist for all that. She thought it was Sneddon. We knew it wasn't MS because I actually seen an MS specialist, and she was like, no, it doesn't look like MS to me. But she's like, I'm not 100% sure. And she was like, it actually, she goes, your brain damage and your symptoms, she goes, it looks like Lyme disease. And I'm like, okay, because that's what I was thinking. So, like, they ran the Lyme test, which is the ELISA, if I'm pronouncing that right, in the Western blot. The first test was negative. The second test was equivocal. And then I had 2 positive bands on the Western blot, but they are not considered positive. But it's like it's equivocal. To me, you can't just be a little positive. It doesn't work that way. So anyway, sorry, I'm trying to really think everything down. So, and I just got skin biopsy for Sneddon. That wasn't 100%. That was can't rule in, can't rule out kind of thing. So I don't know what my neurologist is going to do with that. I don't know if she's going to still try to find a genetic doctor to do the blood work for genetic testing, because that's another Sneddon test that they do. So we'll see where that goes. I really do not think it's Sneddon that's causing some of my neurological issues and like strokes. She's really concerned about the strokes. So now you kind of know why in a lot of my videos, why, like I'm doing it right now, I have to stop and think what I want to say. And sometimes like my brain will walk slow, or I'm thinking the words, but they're not coming out here fast enough or right, or, you know, and I have to really concentrate so I can speak them right, say the right words. You know what I mean? I just have to, it's a lot more work for me. Let's put it that way. I have to really think through and then say it. And that's why with the brain damage, why I have memory issues too. So now you understand that one, which sucks because I've always had a really sharp, good brain. I always remembered everything. And now it's like, ask me what I did like 2 days ago. I don't remember. So where I'm at right now with it all, and I also forgot to mention, see, I forget stuff. I always, ever since I was pregnant with my daughter, I was on and off with the depot. I didn't want to have any more because any more children. It was just so hard. And, you have that fear that you're going to lose the child because I almost lost my daughter. So, and I know that's good where it's pretty good. You're you're probably not going to get it. But it came to the point where I had to get off of it because you're only allowed on it, for a long period of time. And I was on it for 5 years, and they're like, okay, it's time to get off of it. I was like, all right, let's do a tubal ligation, and then I get off of it. I don't have to worry about it. Well, my periods were so bad. Oh my God, I couldn't function. I remember back when I first initially started, having periods, menstruating, they were really bad back then. I was like 12, 13 years old. But then getting pregnant and then constantly be on birth control, especially one that stops me from having a period, I didn't really notice how bad they were until I had to get off. And I'm like, this is horrendous. I can't do this. I went back to my gynecologist. I'm like, look, I can't function. And he's like, oh, it's probably, your endometriosis. And I'm like, my what? He forgot to tell me. It's like, how do you forget to tell a patient? And I think he just assumed I already knew. And I was like, no, I did not. And so I got put back on the depot so I won't have periods and, deal with all that. And then with the strokes, my neurologist was like, no, you need to get off of it because it could be contributing. So I had to get off of it. And I was like, you know what? I'm not doing this period thing. So hysterectomy. So I had that October 1st. So there's that story with my endo. It was bad. It was worse than me and my surgeon thought it would be in there. She wanted to do everything laparoscopically to remove everything, but it didn't work out that way. She was like, as soon as we got in there, I had to stop what I was doing. She was like, because your uterus was to the left and facing down, and everything on the left side was all adhesed together. And she goes, and both your fallopian tubes are full of fluid. And she goes, I was only able to keep your right ovary. So we're going to try to keep that one as long as we can so I don't have to do hormonal supplements that could interfere with the strokes. So fingers crossed. So that's there with endo. And that was, I found out I had endometriosis 2017, I want to say. So anyway, where I'm at right now with all the things I deal with, my gut keeps on telling me it's Lyme disease and co-infections that are causing all these problems. All the research I do, it can cause stomach issues, which I'm having. It can cause endometriosis, which I have. It can cause brain damage once it gets into your brain. I also have some heart problems, which there you go with that. I have God, what's it called? See, there goes my brain again. Premature atrial contractions, and they're bad. I have those. A lot of times my blood pressure's low, my heart rate's high, so that causes a lot of dizziness and all that. Lyme disease would just explain everything. So I'm hoping one day I'll be able to have the money to get really good testing. A lot of people do IGeneX. I'm more leaning towards DNA connections, the PCR test, which is totally different. Since if I do have Lyme disease, I've had it since I was a young teenager when my initial problem started. So using blood wouldn't be the best thing for me because I'm pretty sure the antibodies aren't as strong there. So DNA Connections uses urine, and they test for a lot of different strains and co-infections. So I think that test costs $650, which because of my health, I'm unable to work and I can't afford that. And everyone's like, don't go fund me. But I don't know. I don't feel comfortable asking people or strangers for money, for help. I don't know what to do on that aspect of it. But just to have that answer, yeah, it's Lyme disease co-infections. If I know, then I can better treat. and possibly, it's no cure, but like feel better, go into remission, It's like, how can you get better if you don't know exactly what's going on? And that's kind of where I'm still at. And it's frustrating. So right now with my health, that's kind of where I'm standing with the SNED in and trying to figure out these mini strokes. As I mentioned before, you'll see me drooping and stuff. And I do fear a major stroke because that's just scary. And I fear going blind too, because not only do I have glaucoma, I have drusen macula degenerative. I'm probably not saying that correctly, but it's a mouthful. And I have cataracts. I have irregular astigmatism. The corneas are thick and football shaped, I think they said. I have a lazy eye. My right eye is lazy, so sometimes you might see it be all retarded. So I do fear going blind. I plan on getting myself a braille to at least, if I do go blind, I can at least still read because I love to read, and I would be devastated if I couldn't read anymore. So I plan on doing that. And then with the scoliosis, I was born with that, so that's more likely genetic because my mother has scoliosis. So I know that's where that comes from. There's no question there. Like, what causes that? Where is it at? It runs in my family. There's not much they can do about that because I'm 40. It's been so long. I was never put on a brace or anything like that. It's not like severe, which I'm very thankful for. It's some places it's mild in my back, some places it's a little moderate. I'm S-shaped because some people are C-shaped. I'm S-shaped. So that causes a lot of pain, though. It's frustrating. And you think by now I'd be used to it. I've had it all my life, but you never get used to it. Nothing. No chronic illness. You never get used to none of it. You just get used to dealing, but not physically like used to it in general. Every day is a struggle. But hey, I'm still here. I'm still going. So that's why you see me moving around a lot in my back. I don't know if I'm missing anything. But I can go into some other symptoms. I'll tell you guys some of the symptoms I deal with. We already know about the nausea, stomach issues, chronic pain, my back, of course, my legs. I deal with numbness. My hands are numb a lot. My thighs are numb. My feet go numb. 80% of my face is numb. Can't feel it. I see what other symptoms I deal with. The fatigue, of course, the chronic headaches, which that might be from my back or the damage in my head, like the nerve damage, or both. Who knows? What other symptoms? Of course, the neurological issues with the brain functioning slow. And sometimes it's so frustrating. Like, here's a good example. I had just finished a book. I'm like, okay, what book can I read next? And I was looking at my bookshelf and I'm like, okay, I'll read that one. And it's an orange book, but I said green. And I'm like, no, orange. Like, I really had to get my brain, look, you're saying the wrong thing. That happens all the time. And I do repeat myself a lot because I forget I've said something. So I repeat it. I want to do this video so that you can understand a little bit why I am the way I am. Because you'll be in a video like, she's already said that. So then you'll know why. Or she's pausing a lot to really think to talk. Now you know why. Skin. It started just with my arms when I was 24, I want to say. I'm not going to be able to see it on video though. I don't know if you can see it. Like, it's blotchy, you know what I mean? It's more pronounced on my back, my legs now, but before it was just my arms, like the mottled skin. And my neurologist is like, that's a symptom of Sneddon. Like, okay, but it's also a symptom of Lyme disease. See, mine doesn't go away because I know people get it. Like if you're cold, no, doesn't matter if I'm cold, hot, comfortable. It doesn't matter. And then when I'm in the sun, it gets really red and blotchy, and that happens a lot with Lyme disease. Everything falls back on Lyme, so hopefully one of these days I can get really good testing. Like, that's one of my dreams. Like when you're sick for over how many freaking years with no definitive answers, it's like, okay, you were diagnosed with this, you have that, this and that, but it's not, but why? You know, it's always that question, why? And it's like, I eat good. You know, I've never been one to really eat a whole lot of bad stuff. So it's not like I have a bad diet or anything like that. I, never did drugs or anything like that. I drank. I had that binge for a few years. I'm almost 7 years sober. I mean, I binge drank for a while. It's like 4 years. So I'm glad I don't do that anymore because I'm pretty sure that was just making me worse because my right kidney functions, I think they said at like 80%, which isn't too bad. It's just a little. My gallbladder sluggish. That's a little slow. So it's like the worst thing I need to do is put alcohol in my body. Alcohol is evil. But anyway, getting off track here. So I think I got everything. I think, hopefully, because I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting some stuff. But let me know what you would think. Like if you were in my shoes, in my predicament, would you do a GoFundMe to ask for help? I'm on the fence. Like I'm really uncomfortable doing that, especially now. It's hard. People are struggling. Or should I just give it a try and just see, for myself so I can maybe start to feel better so I can do better treatment. I mean, my stomach is a little bit better now since, I was doing some natural stuff like slippery elm and I do a probiotic, a lot of other like essential oil stuff I've done. So, but I still like deal with the chronic nausea. Sometimes my stomach hurts and it's like, ugh. And I really don't eat much at all. I don't like food. Food's like my enemy because most of the time it just makes me feel worse. So I don't know. But anyway, I just wanted to get on here and do a lineup of, from start to now of like some of my health issues I dealt with. And I'm pretty sure I'm forgetting some stuff. But I mean, in the future, I'm going to be doing videos specifically just like on endometriosis and my eyes and stomach issues and the brain and scoliosis. I'll be doing just videos just on them, and then I'll be telling you guys like what I do to help those elements and problems, the struggles I have with those individually, more into detail, I guess, so to speak. And I don't know, maybe it'll help people that also deal with those problems. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I got everything. I always say it, I should have wrote it all down because I forget everything. But all right, so I think I'm pretty good now. I think I got it. So I mean, if you're interested, look for my health issues. I mean, even I have a few books too. Like my main books are on Lyme disease that really help. If if Bitten is like the best book ever. It is. That was so helpful. It's pretty messed up though. Let me know if you have read Bitten, and let me know if you have Lyme disease and if you kind of go through the same things I am. I mean, I'm with some Lyme groups on Facebook, so that really helps. But anyway, okay, I guess I'm done babbling. And all right, that's it. I'll see you guys later. All right, take care, and remember, always be true to yourself. Bye, guys.